Hello everyone, I'm Candace with Eclectic Coach, and in this reading I'm going to be talking about where to invest your time and your energy, and I've outlined the general questions that I'm going to ask. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get a notification bell letting you know when I create new content. And yeah, so let's just jump right in. Oh, also, if you're interested, I do oracle coaching, and that will help you tune into your own spiritual guidance and also follow through on it, and that's where you really see the transformation. And I also have a Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, and that's a way to support the channel. Check the link below. Okay, so where to invest your time and energy. And I'm using my pieces kind of as an information focal point. So, can I get some themes related to the general hints? Okay, the Magician. So, manifestation. Stop focusing on a past project. Okay, so some general areas. So a past project that you were working on maybe didn't work out quite as you'd hoped, and maybe you cut ties on some emotional aspect of it, but right now some themes and hints around where you need to place your attention with this Magician card are related to taking the ability to manifest into your own hands. Also, I'm noticing how he's like showing her and teaching her. So find a mentor. If some project you were working on before did not work, flippers only, sideways, red, upright. Okay, so maybe you thought about giving up on a past project and walking away from it. Now, take this only if it resonates. Again, this is a general reading. But what I'm getting is don't walk away from this project just because there's been some disappointment. Don't throw everything away. Recalibrate, retool, rebrand. Mercury retrograde. Although this is a timeless reading, if you're watching this in time for the Mercury retrograde, that's a good time to work on manifesting. And it's also saying that you have everything that you need. Yes, you may have been set back emotionally, but ultimately you have everything that you need here in order to manifest a solution and move forward. I'm going to read from a different deck. So I'm going to look at this deck here and see about some characters that are involved. Okay, so it didn't flip. I got a glimpse of the Lovers. I've got a person who is really evaluating the situation, really taking stock of where they've invested their emotions. I'm just reading this card intuitively, but really trying to think about, is this worth it? And it's like, yes, you have attained a certain level that if you keep working with it, you're going to see it from a different perspective. I'm just noticing the difference in height. And she's looking down on the situation. So maybe even pray about it and see if you can get higher guidance on the situation. Where to invest your time and energy. Now let's look at some characters that are involved. So that could be you. That's what I'm getting, is that that's you right now, is evaluating your investment of time and energy. Because you're a very hard worker and you put a lot of energy into this. Maybe you've sacrificed some things emotionally around this goal or this project. And maybe there's somebody here, though, that you haven't seen quite eye to eye with. Yeah, like a marital partner or a partner in the business. Yeah, I've got the King and Queen of Pentacles here. And so maybe this situation has been something, I'm getting something about like you put a lot of time and energy into something, you've experienced some emotional setbacks, you're evaluating if it's worth it or not. But I'm noticing here that there are fruits to your labor. It will come to blossom and bloom, what you cultivate. So yes, this may have caused some discord in your personal relationships, your romantic relationships. I'm seeing with the King and Queen here. Again, only take it if it resonates. But if this is even just around your relationship and some project that you're working on together, or some solo project and a partner who represents like a different aspect of the business, maybe you haven't seen eye to eye, you're evaluating if it's worth it, do you walk away, you need to see it from a higher perspective, and the fruits of your labor are coming. Yeah. So this card is upright. So it means protect your investment of everything and don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. There may be some elements that have been a little disheartening. Also, what I'm getting is a focus on the ground. So getting outside, recalibrating your nervous system will help you emotionally. Rebalance. Rebalance the masculine and feminine aspects within yourself. If maybe that's what's come out of balance because you've worked so hard. Maybe this isn't between you and another person, but maybe within the masculine and feminine parts of yourself, maybe you've leaned too much into one or the other. But with the Magician upright, it's showing me that if you recalibrate, refocus, and recenter on a pre-existing situation, you can rectify it. Okay, emotional factors to consider. Okay. So, emotional factors to consider. Okay, so what I'm getting is that you've been working really hard, and I'm seeing even these two, like, lovers, the King and Queen of Cups, which to you will look upright. And so balancing the masculine and feminine and valuing equally the masculine and feminine principles within your relationship, within yourself, will help you to feel safe, will help you to feel centered, will help you to feel balanced. That's why we have 2 feet, 2 hands, 2 arms. This duality is kind of like a part of how everything is created and everything is made. So honoring both is really important to where you're spending your time and your energy. And those are emotional factors to consider. Because what I'm getting is that there's been just a little bit more emphasis on the masculine. Maybe like feeling like you can't rest, but you need to rest. It's not flipping. Okay. How to ground a more stable and structured into reality is if you are in a relationship, very specifically, you need to be more romantic, do sweet things. It doesn't have to be all out, big, extravagant. Remember, like, it doesn't have to be a whole bouquet of roses or something. It can be one rose, 1 point, one thoughtful note, 1 point. So you don't have to like go all out and do all, it's really the little things, the thoughtful romantic gestures. And even if you are a woman in this scenario, like opening up and playing music and getting in touch with your sensuality, your romantic nature will rebalance you and recenter you so that you can come back and work on whatever this project is with greater ease. Yeah, and so how you can ground this into reality, because this was out of balance and upside down. Now it's upright and she's happy in this deck. When you have factored in the feminine aspect and the value of rest, the value of play, the value of spontaneity, the value of creativity, the value of communication, the value of feelings and honoring your feelings and community and that sort of thing. Yeah, like your whole world will come into balance and you'll see things from a higher perspective and you'll be able to bring loose-ended tasks back to completion, back into harmony. You'll understand your place as a human being within the larger cosmos. Ironically, like when you balance the masculine and feminine, when you honor the feminine, and that's represented by a very feminine figure on the card, you'll feel guided, you'll feel supported, because a part of why all this working and feeling disheartened and feeling like you've sacrificed emotionally has been so difficult and made you want to give up. I don't know where I was going with that, but like you're going to feel more balanced and you're going to feel that connectedness to all things, which is somewhat represented by the feminine, the formless, the boundless, because there's been an overemphasis on work and pushing and effort, but something that you are working on is going to come into fruition. You just need to approach it in a more balanced way. And that means also balancing the dynamics of your actual relationships and partnerships. And that can even exist within the context of a business relationship where one partner represents more of the marketing, the creative, the sales pitch, somebody else manages more of the finance, the structural, the accounting, the logistics. It still applies. So, and if that's the scenario, and it's around a business relationship, not a marital relationship, just be kind, be more flexible, be more easygoing. Stay in your lane and do what you do best, and give uplifting, encouraging feedback, and be aware of how you communicate. I'm just seeing that with the parrots here. Be mindful of how you communicate in a friendly, uplifting way and do your thing. And I'm just noticing for some reason, like the supportive structure. If that's your role, then just do it and enjoy it and let them do their thing. And their social thing. And recognize, oh, this is important. Recognize that the social aspect, the social, the communal, the family, the energies and people around the situation are very important. and bring more of that emotional fulfillment. Okay, where to invest your time? Okay, so specific actions to take. Really? That's the deck? All the way? Okay, thank you for being patient. Specific actions to take. Okay, so you've got to say no to somebody or something. It can be an action, a behavior. What I'm seeing just with these hands and boundaries is that perhaps you haven't been having the best boundaries between work and your life, and setting aside time for play, for creativity, for rest. You've just been saying yes to work, maybe yes to demands, yes to push. And this could be clients, bosses, just people. You feel like the demands of the world, you need to set better boundaries around your time. I'm just getting maybe a voicemail that says, these are my hours, this is when I'm off. And when you're off work, really, really unplugging so that you're energy rich. And that's one of these things I hear from one of these coaches I listen to online. And it's about being energy rich. You want to be present, available for your relationship. Otherwise, you don't have this softer, gentler, more friendly, and you need that to move this forward. So that's really important, is actions to take or to set boundaries around your time and your energy so that you can show up to whatever this relationship is, a business partnership, a romantic relationship, energy rich. And in that way, it's easier for you to manifest. Okay, so that is actions to take. And that deck we won't be using. Okay. Materials in the real world. So this is materials that you have access to. To keep in mind regarding this connection. I don't know why or how this relates, but it's really, and then around here with this no and the Princess of Swords, which represents to me a lot of social media, along with the Five of Wands, that you need to say no to social media, to comparing your life to other people's highlights and fake life with filters. Anything that's causing you to feel inadequate or not enough or not farther along in life, setting really clear limits on phone time, on demands from other people, on social media, on clients, on comments, on messages, on text messages, just people, and not having enough boundaries. So you have the ability to say no. Just to turn it off and to be like, no. And that's going to free up bandwidth and energy for you. And then spiritual guidance. Spiritual guidance. So this is get clear on your intention and stay focused and move quickly to achieve your goal. This isn't saying don't do that, but this represents to me more of the masculine aspect of setting your eyes on a target and zeroing in on it and running after it. And the honeybee came up upright, saying, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority. So by saying no to all these demands that deplete you, any competition, anything that pulls you into that weird headspace that makes you feel dissatisfied on an emotional level, like you haven't made enough and you're not far enough along, like you got to be compassionate towards yourself. This is your spiritual guidance. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're exactly where you're supposed to be for what you're supposed to be learning. And then with this card, upside down, is you don't need to make some big declaration about what you're doing. Just let your behavior show kindness and just like warmth and lightness. And there's no need to compete with anyone. Everybody's just the star of their own movie and operates from their own perception. So let your reality be colored by compassion, forgiveness for yourself first. And that means also like leaning into self-care so that you can have the energy, and saying no to social media and blue light and all this stuff, and making sure you're getting adequate rest, and taking a more romantic, playful, fun is actually the best way to use your time and energy. And so I hope that that was helpful for those of you who picked piece number 1. Hello everyone, I'm Candace with Eclectic Coach, and what I'm doing here is I am looking at your cards on where to invest your time and energy by looking at some of the art pieces that I've created, and I hope you enjoy. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I also do Oracle coaching to help you stay accountable so that you can follow through. That's where you really see transformation. And yeah, so I'm really excited to do this reading for you. At first, what we're going to look at here are, oh, and also you can buy me a cup of coffee to support the channel. And so starting off, some general themes and hints as to where to invest your time and energy are, we got the Princess of Coins. So I'm looking at how it might be starting off as something small, something in the beginning stages where you're just gathering the resources. However, you're very focused on it. There's also something coming through of it's something that you focus on like with passion and curiosity, and something around, maybe even something you were passionate about as a child. Okay, let's see here. And that's where you need to focus your time and energy, or something that's just new. That didn't flip. Flippers only. Sideways, red, upright. Okay. So the 6 of Coins, and I'm hearing this is what you're giving. It's your contribution. It's your, maybe it's a startup. Maybe it's the beginning of some artistic project, but that's very material. Because your hands are on the Pentacle here. But it's very much your craft, something that's yours, that you're working on specifically. But you also have a decision to make around it. And you're looking to the left. So maybe you're looking at the past a little bit and evaluating the past. I'm hearing perhaps turn your attention towards this new thing. Don't focus so much on the past. or the setting sun. Focus on like the new direction around it. So, Spirit, can I get some characters involved in the situation and some of their qualities? So, for, I guess, this reading, I'm getting somebody who's just very passionate, really comes from the heart, puts that first. Something that's very emotionally fulfilling to someone. Something artistic because of the cups. Something that you've dedicated and really worked on your craft. There's something about her holding the pentacle and her holding the pentacle here. You've really worked on this craft, and it's been like a labor of love and generosity. Oh my goodness, I swear these same cards come out. So the Lovers, this can be, well, in this particular deck, indicates something romantic. But what I'm getting around this is that because you've been so focused on this particular craft or this particular project or this particular outlet and given it like your whole like heart and like the effort, the emotion, you've been so passionate about it that you've had to make choices about other projects that you really also care about. And you've just had to make choices about what you can give to. Let's see. But you have friends around you in the industry, in the field that you can work with. And what I'm hearing is like each one of you can put your own finishing touches on this project and make it something shiny and great. And maybe you felt a little tired holding everything on your own, and then there's been like not so much competition in this card. I'm hearing like leadership, direction on your part that you've needed to give, creative guidance. You've been so hard at work on this, and this is all about you. You are the character, and these are your qualities. Now, some emotional factors to consider. Emotional factors to consider. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? I just get that you've been proficient in whatever this project has been, whatever this work thing has been. Getting it's very much work related. Something entrepreneurial, something creative, something where you've had skills that you've had to develop. Or even just like a very specialized industry, but that demands that you're on, that you're present, that you're available, that you're working, that you show up with your whole self, the masculine and feminine. You've had to say no to certain things. And right now you're evaluating what you can and cannot give your attention to. And the universe is asking you to look at what you're clinging on to. Because we either deal with it. I keep getting this card. But if it's meant to come up, it will. Flippers only. So, emotional factors to consider. The students stay flipped. A caution. Your guidance is divinely guided. So pay attention to your dreams, your intuition. When you listen to readings like this one, pay attention to like an arc that develops. That's interesting. I just said that, and then I noticed like on the card, the arc, the overarching themes that keep getting repeated. If you listen to these card readings, that's what's important, and there should be like a physical sensation in your body. Before some of these videos, I have an intro where we take you through a body scan exercise, but I don't know. It's still in process. But yeah, like tune into your body, see where there are heavy places and what you need to let go of. And those are the emotional factors to consider. Okay. This deck. Actions to take specifically. Nope, didn't flip. Queen of Swords. So you need to be very clear about what you want. You have this thing that you've developed, that you've given yourself to, in the sense that like you've really enjoyed it, you've really poured a lot of your energy and attention, you're being called to make some decisions about it. You've had to make choices where you've given up other things that you've loved. But you are surrounded by people that you can work with, where you can focus more on what you enjoy, what you want to do. Pay attention to the intuition that you've been getting, especially the arc that maybe appears in these readings or your dreams. And the action that you need to take is that you need to be decisive about what you want, clear about articulating it, set boundaries, like use that sword, set your line in the sand, be like, this is okay, this is not okay. And then my eyes are being drawn to the butterfly. That's how you're going to transform. So materials and connections. You could have a love interest on the way. Or also what I'm getting is, or like a love interest who's a good friend, and you just like connect. You connect a lot through the eyes. You have good, like you're looking at a common vision together. You're walking in the same direction. But also what I heard is good friend. Like good times, like seeing eye to eye, cheers, enjoying each other, enjoying like your space. So if you have quality friendships, if you have quality romance, really appreciate that, savor that feeling, be in gratitude about that, and that will create more abundance for you in this area. I guess I just kind of got the feeling with this card of feeling a little bit different because of this creative talent or this ability, feeling a little bit like on the outside or like kind of not fitting in, but feeling like you need to like grow and transcend and make a decision. Stop looking at what hasn't happened in the past. Yes, you've had to make choices about things that you also enjoy, but haven't been able to give your full attention to. But right now, all of this is about where to invest your time and energy, and that's in appreciating what you do have: good times, good food, good drinks, good experiences. Okay. So, spiritual guidance about this situation. Spiritual guidance. Flippers only. Flippers only. Okay, so you got activist. When I see this card, I see the color, and I'm just focused on the rainbow in the background, which ironically is talking about, and it's the same color as this one. eating food on the light spectrum, and also working with the violet flame to transmute like negative energies that have kind of just been like weighing you down or making you feel heavy, or like you've had to just give so much, and to lighten your mental load so that you can make a really good decisions about where to go next with these creative projects, and in your career. Continue to think about activism and helping others, because that really seems to help you. Is like leaning into how you're helping other people really brings you in contact with the right people, the right contacts, people who you can really agree upon a vision with. Come from a place of genuine service, and everything that you need, people, contacts, situations, events, and opportunities to celebrate will happen for you. And blessings that are coming forward to you are in the area of focus only. Okay, that's a lot. But optimism around areas where you didn't believe, where you felt like freaked out, you're going to start to feel more peaceful and have more faith, because you're going to see tangible blessings in your reality. So I hope that this has given you some ideas on where to focus. It was kind of all over the place, but focus on really leaning into feelings of fun, happiness, joy, satisfaction, good times. Lean into optimism. Adjust your beliefs. That's going to make you feel safer and more in faith. And one way that you can develop more faith is to write down all the times where you've had really close calls and somehow things lined up for you, everything turned out to be okay, and you were able to receive blessings. But you have to really focus and like align from the heart, do some energy transmutation with the violet flame. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello everyone, I'm Candace, and if you're new to these pick-a-piece readings, this is where you just take a deep breath and you tune in and you see which piece is calling out to you, and if you feel a visceral pull towards one piece or another. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you want to support the channel, you can do so by buying me a cup of coffee. And if you would like support in reaching some of your own goals and aspirations, then you can find my link in the description box below, and I can help you follow through and stay focused and really tune into your intuition, but take action on it, and that's where you see the real transformation. So as I'm trying to talk and as I'm saying that, like, I'm remembering that I had to pause the video and I decided to just start over, but I was looking at the piece and was pulling cards, and the one that came up for you around a theme, and what I was getting is to keep it, is around grandmother, and it says Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. And it got me thinking about things related to your family of origin, your family planning, long-term growth, potential. But I'm hearing family. It could even be ancestral karma, lineage. They need to flip. Okay. So I'm just going to take this one here. Looking for home, belonging. So something around where you need to be investing your time and energy, some of the general themes are definitely around home and family and a feeling of belonging. And I'm also hearing if you don't have that in your life for some reason or another, perhaps you've had a difficult upbringing and you found it hard to connect. For some of you, I'm getting you may even feel like not from this place, and like you never really felt like you fit in here, never really felt like you fit into your family of origin. It's now time to think about what really brings you joy, what brings you home to yourself, gives you that deep sense of comfort and connection to other people, and start creating your family if you haven't had that before. And also be intentional about the family you are creating now, even if you do have a family that's well established or in place, or so it really works for people who feel like they don't have anyone. It's about time to start creating those connections, and it's also a time for anyone to start getting intentional about the type of family that they want to create. Clippers only. Okay. So if you are dealing with some emotional pain and you're healing that, what I'm hearing is that is a wise investment, and for you to realize, I guess, just what your family has given you, even if it wasn't the most ideal situation, or you've been going through some difficult times. Remember that you're an eternal being having a human experience. This is a temporary situation. Reminding yourself of that you are an ever unfolding rose. It's not happening to you. It's always happening for you, for your growth, for your development. And what I'm getting is there have been resources or lessons, or even through very difficult circumstances, that have given you skills and abilities that you can take away from the situation. Even if, let's just say, for example, you had a household with a lot of addiction or something, and you developed codependency. Even in that, there are gifts and abilities that have come with that, like a lot of empathy. The ability to almost be psychic and anticipate other people's needs. And that's just one example. Or maybe you've had to be very resilient or resourceful, or maybe whatever you didn't get in your family has given you that as a priority to create in your life. But now's the time for you to be intentional about creating belonging. And for those of you who feel like star seeds, doing something around a particular interest, a particular hobby, a particular passion project, and then that can connect you to other people who think and feel and are like you. And for other people, it's just focusing on your home, focusing on your priorities around your home, doing some manifesting around what you would like to create in the home. And if you're left with some sore spots and some sadness, see it from this larger picture that there's been gifts given to you. Okay, so both upright. Yeah, so I'm also getting that maybe something is triggering you right now, like showing you where you need to set boundaries around your time, your energy, your attention. If you say yes to everything, then nothing's really important. So saying no is important. Yeah, and I'm just getting healing work Also looking at what's triggering you, maybe doing some counseling, maybe doing some coaching work so that you can set intentions with another person who can help you stay accountable, can help you look at whatever's triggering you. And I'm getting that that's due to some issues related to a lack of boundaries. I'm going to ask, because this might be related to a particular person. So let's see here. Flippers only. Yeah, what I'm getting is you might want to invest in like therapy or a personal growth program or like a reflective journaling class or something that helps you look into feelings related to belonging. I'm thinking of like Brene Brown is coming to mind about how we're hardwired for belonging and connection. Yeah, I guess something has happened that's left you kind of feeling, what I'm getting is feeling kind of sad and kind of down. Maybe related to a conflict or just like an old wound or an old trigger. But as far as what you need to be investing your time and energy around is looking at your emotional reactions, and especially if they're extremely disproportionate to what's happened, that there's just more there that you need to do healing. But yeah, seeing the benefit even in the most painful situation and realizing that you can change your perspective by turning around. And what I'm hearing is specifically asking yourself different questions, because like Tony Robbins says that like the questions that we ask direct our focus. So by asking yourself, what is good about the situation? How did this actually serve me? What is the blessing that came from this? Wherever you can see the resistance, that's a good thing, because then you can turn around, start making changes in that area, and immediately start to see the benefit. So this whole situation, like whatever's triggering you emotionally, maybe you're even thinking, I could just do without any of this. Like, I don't want to be dealing with any of this. Just start by changing the questions that you ask yourself. That will inspire you to move in a different direction, and you're going to come across these cups of what you have gained, what you still have. And, you can't take all 5 of these cups. You can't, some things need to be left behind. There's 2 upright cups that are full that you can take with both of your hands. So it's about taking and appreciating what is available to you now, related to the situation. Not all has been lost. Okay, so emotional factors to consider. Oop. Take it. Okay, more with the cups. So what I'm getting is that you may be even aware of one of these cups, and one of them's kind of being presented to you and like coming to you through your thought forms, or you're kind of aware of one of these cups on here, and it's been kind of coming into your mind. Or just think about your thoughts or your fantasies, or just something that's been drifting in and out of your mind as a possibility of something that you can appreciate and move towards in your life. But in order to do this, in order to move forward in this area, you are going to need to set boundaries. And that's what it's going to be, a wise investment of your time and energy to learn how to set boundaries and to deal with whatever emotional comfort that comes up with, being a sensitive, empathic person and feeling that other person's discomfort. Okay, emotional factors to consider. Are there any other emotional? So, like, hints of this have been coming to you from your intuition about an area of your life that you can focus on. Yeah, because you've kind of kept yourself stuck in bondage. So, with your thinking, that's what this card represents. As she's like surrounded by these swords. Technically speaking, she could pull her arms out and pull this off of her face. She's not totally bound. You just are bound by your own thoughts. So in order to change the direction of your thoughts, you need to change the questioning, the line of questioning. Like, what am I grateful about? What do I feel good about? There's this book, Awaken the Giant Within, that has like a list of more empowering questions. Yeah, and as you do that, what I'm getting is that you are going to start to feel much more satisfied, realize, wow, I'm actually more further along than I thought. And the only reason that you want anything outside of yourself is because you think it's going to make you feel happy, it's going to make you feel content, it's going to make you feel something. Just realize that if you shift your focus and you do this healing around family of origin, not belonging, feeling like you don't fit in, looking at where that's showing up in your life. Are there any triggers in the workplace or job, family, where that's coming up again? By changing your focus on what didn't work out, you can focus on what you did get from that. And as you change your focus and work on boundaries, you can get out of your own head and move into a place of greater fulfillment and satisfaction. You understand that, like, this happiness is like not an external condition. It's a state of mind. Okay. So, what you can ground into reality here. What you can ground into reality. What you can ground into reality here. So, something that you can do to ground benevolent outcomes into reality are to be specifically clear about what you're doing with your energy, where you're investing your energy. Like, specifically, do not invest in competition, conflict, arguing. You've got these, but it drains you, because I pulled it up or in reverse. It drains you when you engage into too much conflict, or just like petty ego battles, or look at me. You need to keep some of this energy for yourself. But just knowing who and what is like worth the engagement is important. I'm hearing some people, and I don't know, this is very specific for some of you, but it's okay to go no contact. So, actions to take. So, what I'm getting is two different things, actions to take around this. You're going to have to like just deal and show up to life and keep a good attitude and interact and juggle and just regulate as best you can the ups and downs of the waves of emotions that you feel. Like I'm getting like in your day job or your daily life, that's just a part of it. But on an emotional level, it's okay, to be in this place where you just feel done with something for a while. And that place that you can go emotionally where there just isn't anything left to say, there's no more crying about it. You're just in that open space. But I'm getting very Eckhart Tolle, like present moment awareness, spaciousness, going into the void, just being in silence around your mind, letting your ego die. The old self, the old you, on an emotional level, yeah, because you gotta like show up and do life and deal and make that coin and interact with people and do all that. But you are going through somewhat of an emotional transformation. And so practicing time in silence and listening to the silence, and then a new day will begin to arise, and a new healing, and a new like level of what I'm getting is healing and transformation around whatever this past pain is that you've been dealing with related to your family. Okay. And then spiritual guidance for this. Spiritual guidance. Yeah, so what I'm getting is, okay, interesting. So, yeah, put some effort into this and do some crafting, like design the family that you want. Design what you want based on, okay, this didn't work out when I was a kid, or this wasn't great for me, so I'm going to make sure that my family is different, and that we prioritize these things, we prioritize these values, we make this important. What I'm getting is like scripting, like writing out what you want and like manifesting and then showing up and doing all the work. What I'm also getting is if you're too in your head and you need more silence, focus on being fully present for your like daily minutia related tasks. And that will really help ground you out emotionally. If you've been processing difficult emotions around boundaries, if you've been feeling triggered, if you've been remembering difficult things from childhood, whatever, the work you're doing will eventually pay off, but be in it moment to moment. Not trying to figure it all out, like in all these meanings, and lost too much in the emotion of all of it. But yeah, you can design the version of you that you would like to become. I'm just hearing that these pentacles were forged in the fire. And like a blacksmith or somebody working with iron, he's etching that hot pentacle like with like a hammer and like a sculpting knife. And be intentional. You're designing this new version of you. You're an ever unfolding rose. Nothing's happened to you. It's all happening for you. Okay, and blessings coming for you. Blessings coming for you. So, new thoughts. You're going to have like a new idea, new opinions about yourself. Like what I'm seeing is take control of your own mind. And you're going to have mastered some thought process, some limiting belief. You're going to completely overcome it. And the mountains that you're just going to be lifted above it, because you're going to receive this totally new perspective, this totally new outlook that's just going to change the game for you. And then also what I'm getting specifically is you realize that you can just give up thought and give it to God, like let it go. Like you can ask for help about whatever's going on with you, and then just you don't need to think continuously. You can practice more being and more being present. And that's going to bring like a lot of peace to your life. So I hope you found that to be helpful. Thanks. Hello everyone, I'm Candace with Eclectic Coach, and this is my pick a piece reading. This is where you take a deep breath and just tune in and see which piece you're drawn to. And I also look at the piece and try to use this as sort of a focal point for receiving information and guidance. So if you picked piece number 4, this is your reading about where you can invest your time and energy. I also do Oracle coaching if you're interested in that. And you can support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Or you could buy me a cup of coffee. Okay, so where to invest your time and your energy. Okay, so flippers only. Flippers only. Should I do flippers only? I'm hearing no. Okay. Well, these are flipped. So, some hints around that are there's going to be just an event that comes into your attention that kind of knocks, I don't know, you've been juggling, so a little off balance. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to knock you out of your normal, every busy routine, and that's something that's a hint around where to invest your time and your energy. Can I get more of a theme around where? Okay, so some project, some work-related endeavor. I just see him like ready to take action, and he's the King of Wands, so he's like ready to move. Plus the Knight of Swords. So yeah, this is going to be some immediate situation that's going to demand your attention. And it's interesting because I completely had to change the reading and start over again. So these must be the messages that wanted to come through. Something that's going to require your focus, your attention, and your physical energy. I'm getting something related to work or a project, or yeah, like it's not an emotional type of thing, and there may be messages that were not sent or received, because I'm looking at this in the reverse. So maybe you've been like waiting on messages and you're trying to put these actions through, trying to get this project done. You really need to focus here right now. Some characters that are involved and their qualities. Okay, so we've got, and that turned over. So we've got the King of Cups. So I'm getting like a manager or, yeah, I just heard manager. But if not, just somebody who's very emotionally balanced, very emotionally stable, like somebody who's emotionally mature, can handle things, can smooth things over, is one of the characters involved. And 3 more? 3 total. Okay. 3 more, 3 total. So okay, so maybe this person, this manager, this decision maker, isn't handing over the money, or isn't maybe is wanting to renegotiate on the deal. They want to do something in more of a traditional approach. So this character is wondering if this is too risky of an investment or too risky of a move, and basically this like manager, somebody who's been there a long time, been involved for a long time, maybe reluctant to spend some money, maybe reluctant to invest in anything that is not traditional. Maybe they are religious as well. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, is this a separate character? Okay, so another one of these characters is very idealistic. Might be just more energetic, but at this point wants to get after that star, that North Star, and is getting impatient. Is it impatient? Can I get a clarifier on if it's impatient or... Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, so maybe there's someone here who's just like wanting to hold back, wanting to do something very traditional, kind of holding back the money, the investment of time, energy, resources. We got another person here who's very experienced, very seasoned, and okay, so this is like a work situation where there's somebody who's tempered, emotionally mature, balanced, very aware of like the emotional considerations, is reluctant to do something that's not in alignment with what's tried and true. And then we've got somebody over here who's either not showing a lot of energy. Can I get more on this person here? This Knight of Wands in reverse. Take it. Okay, so this person was kind of impatient, but now they're kind of lethargic because they've been working really, really hard towards this goal or this outcome. And then there's another person who's like maybe a lawyer, an advisor, a counselor, just somebody very knowledgeable about how to move forward, who has the light to see through this situation. Can help lead you guys to a celebration. Somebody here, the hermit, the expert in the situation, can bring you all through to a happy celebratory conclusion around this. Now, so some emotional factors for you to consider here. Emotional factors. Is that there's something that's not done, not ready to die yet, so that you're still, there's just some aspect of this situation that's not completely over. Some situation where you're just not seeing eye to eye with one of these characters or both. So just know that there might be some, like, moving forward. Yes, you will all move forward on whatever this project or this circumstance is. Maybe like some big fated event happened within some work dynamic that is demanding your attention. You want to take action, but like you're very poised and waiting. But then there's another part of you that's just like wants to take action. You're just action oriented around it. So yeah, you're just know that that's an emotional consideration around this, is that, yeah, you're just not, there's some emotional situation or just some energies where different people in this situation that are having to address this thing that's come up just don't necessarily agree. That's okay. How to ground like the best outcome into reality. Okay, so we got the Wheel of Fortune again. So, interesting. Okay, so this is like already, this, whatever's happened in this dynamic, in this work situation has already come to be and is well underway, and there's some like growth, transformation, trajectory that's already happening. So like with the Wheel of Fortune, what I get with the Wheel of Fortune is it's about aligning your energies with the energies of the wheel, and that circumstances of fate and personalities and trajectories are all playing out, but we live in a multiverse, so you can get yourself on a different trajectory altogether if you change your energy. When I see the Wheel of Fortune, it's more to me about aligning your energy and then being moved in the wheel. Ground into reality. So yeah, there's not much that you have to do. This is already happening. Okay. So yeah, your instinct is to take action. So how and where you can take action, you can do that. And how and where you need to conserve your energy, you can do that as well. But don't be too freaked out about it. Don't be too cautious. Because if your impulse to the situation that's just sprung up seemingly out of nowhere is to take decisive action and move forward with what you have, you're onto something there. So, but you are working with these other people, so what I'm getting is just take a more like lighthearted approach to it. Maybe lean into more of the social aspect. When you're trying to push it too far and you're getting too much feedback or pushback from the other people in the team who are wanting to approach it differently, relax and have fun. Realize the gamification of life and try to relax a little bit. Yeah, being too tempered is not your thing. And you just kind of have to go with your instincts and your impulses. But rather than getting frustrated or agitated with people who aren't up to speed or having to wait on the experts to give you feedback, to tell you what to do. Yes, you're not tempered. That's just not your thing. So maybe like go outside, or what I'm getting is lean into the social aspect and have fun rather than trying to push the agenda. Use your fiery charisma, action, just to maintain positive energy so that you'll end up going in the right direction of the wheel. Okay, so specific actions to take. Take it. Yeah, what I was getting to is go outside, like maybe go walk around the building, the place where you guys have the conversations. Like go for a little walk, observe the nature, get away from just the energy if it gets to be too stagnant or slow and you need to get out and about. And like your own thoughts will be clearer. So take a walk. Yeah, that's going to help you from hooking in too much into somebody's cup that's emotional and ungrounded and like in your face because you're in the same room trying to make decisions with them. Like go for a walk, clear your head. They're just different people with different voices, and all of you are important. Yeah, just go outside and focus on like your own emotional satisfaction, enjoying the weather, attending to your own emotional needs. Material, connections, and resources. So what I'm getting is that this is like a good group. Yeah, you might have different approaches, but you all have different, and there's like a friendly quality around it, a friendly energy, a friendly aspect. So if you're involved in like real estate or something that involves like a lot of socializing with the community, or outside community related sales, you guys are very like tied into the community. And there's a strong social, like I'm hearing strong culture. So you guys have that going. I'm just seeing fun, play. I'm also getting that the different people involved in the scenario like are good at different things and they're well placed in their roles. Take that if it resonates. Okay, so we got the Lovers in reverse again. Okay, yeah, so maybe it's understood, and that's a good thing, that, yeah, you guys aren't always going to see eye to eye, and you still got to move forward. You guys aren't always going to love everyone's idea of the best approach to take, and it's about knowing, like, which battles to choose. You guys have tact. Everybody on the team in this situation can communicate with clarity, with tact. I'm hearing alignment of values. Alignment of values in terms of long-term. I'm trying to see if I should take this. Don't take this? Okay. Okay, so what is the guidance that's coming through here? Okay, not this one, this one. Okay, the guidance. Guidance. No. Okay. So it is coming together. Things are coming together. So just rest and know that. And then we've got another council. And this is in reverse. So it may feel like a little chaotic because there's different people trying to say how they think it should be. Just relax and know that this whole thing is coming together. It really does take a whole group of people to make things happen. And what I'm getting from this is that, yeah, like it may feel like it hasn't been on track, but with the Wheel of Fortune card coming up twice and everything like that, and it may feel like you haven't been agreeing or seeing the same vision, that's okay. There are personal lessons each of you are like learning through this whole thing. And it's very different for each of you. And there is like a larger plan at work that this scenario is hooked into somehow. Like some larger, on like more of a global or even like community stage that's just bigger than you and bigger than the situation. And there's timing involved. And so if things haven't come together, know that it's okay and that they are coming together. Okay, so blessings coming to you from this situation. Okay, so fulfillment. In the end, you guys will be celebrating. There will be like, kind of like at the end where people didn't get along throughout the process, but at the end everybody's just like so happy. That is, it kind of seems like they got along the whole time, or they remember it as if they did because the outcome is just so great. The Ten of Cups is upright for your outcome, so total fulfillment is coming from this. You're meant to learn something different. You're learning about patience. It's not your jam. It's okay. Like, your MO is to take action. take that if it resonates, but just know that you guys will get it all balanced out in this group. So, but you can't check out of it entirely either. You still have to like participate in it and play your role and deal with the other people involved and all that. So just take a walk, chill out, clear your mind. You guys have a good team. Lean into the social aspect when you start to get frustrated or like wanting to take action or stir something up, like stir up the morale and the culture around the situation and support it. Compliment people, focus on the good, like use your fiery energy in a good way. Don't like then get despondent and pull back and all that, like and don't get discouraged if you're not all getting along or seeing it all the same way. It's gonna all straighten out and the outcome will come together. And there is a particular person with a lot of expertise on your team, and they do have some insight or some piece of information that can be really helpful that will bring this to a happy and successful conclusion. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you in the next reading.